Your face has the world's worst poker strategy. It just blurts out your secrets in bright red. Mess up a sentence? Boom! Cheeks glowing like emergency brake lights. But why does your body basically snitch on you when you're embarrassed? There's no survival benefit to announcing, "Hi, I just said something dumb." Or, is there? It turns out blushing is one of the weirdest, most uniquely human reactions, and your brain is doing it on purpose. So yeah, your face isn't betraying you. It's networking. Your face basically has a panic button, and when you feel socially exposed, it slams it. Blushing starts in your brain, specifically in regions tied to emotion like the amygdala, which is always scanning for social danger, like, did I just say something weird? Or, are people judging me? The moment it detects that kind of spotlight, it activates your autonomic nervous system, the same system that handles fight or flight. But instead of making you run away like a startled gazelle, it does something far more awkward. It dilates the blood vessels in your face. Suddenly, more blood rushes into the tiny capillaries in your cheeks, and boom, you're glowing like a human mood ring. What's wild is that this reaction is involuntary. You can't just decide not to blush any more than you can decide not to sneeze mid-pepper attack. It's automatic, fast, and brutally honest. Scientists think this response is tied specifically to social emotions like embarrassment, guilt, or even unexpected praise. So your face isn't reacting to danger in general, it's reacting to being seen, which means your cheeks are basically announcing to the room, "Attention everyone, I am currently having a social crisis." It's like your body installed a public notification system and forgot to include an off switch. Here's something delightfully humiliating. As far as we know, humans are the only animals that blush. Your dog might feel guilty, your cat might feel superior, but neither is turning bright red because they accidentally waved back at someone who wasn't waving at them. Blushing requires a very specific kind of brain-wiring self-awareness, plus the ability to imagine how others see you. It's not just, "I did something," it's, "I did something, and now other people are judging me, and I am aware of their judgment." That's a lot of mental gymnastics just to turn your face into a tomato. This ties into what psychologists call self-conscious emotions, like embarrassment, shame, and pride. These emotions depend on social context and reputation. In other words, you have to care what other people think. Evolutionarily, that's actually useful. Humans are deeply social creatures, and our survival has always depended on fitting in with the group. Blushing may have evolved as a visible signal that says, "Hey, I know I messed up. I feel bad about it. Please don't kick me out of the tribe." It's like a biological apology note written in red ink across your face. So while it feels like your body is betraying you, it might actually be trying to help you stay socially connected, even if it does so with all the subtlety of a flashing neon sign. The reason your face turns red instead of, say, flashing blue or emitting elevator music is all about blood and plumbing. When you blush, your body causes vasodilation, which is just a fancy way of saying your blood vessels widen. Specifically, the tiny capillaries near the surface of your skin open up and allow more blood to flow through. And since that blood is oxygen-rich, it's bright red. Combine that with the fact that facial skin is relatively thin, and suddenly your cheeks are basically broadcasting your internal emotional state, like a live stream. Think of it like turning up the water pressure in a garden hose, except the hose is your face, and the water is your dignity leaking out. What's interesting is that this effect is especially noticeable in the face, neck, and ears, because these areas have a dense network of blood vessels and are more responsive to emotional signals. Your body isn't randomly choosing your cheeks for drama, it's using the most visible billboard it has. So when you feel that warmth creeping up your face, that's literally heat from increased blood flow. You are, quite literally, heating up with embarrassment. It's like your emotions are cooking your face on low simmer, and everyone around you gets to watch the process unfold in real time. As mortifying as blushing feels, it might actually be making you more likable. There's evidence that people who blush are perceived as more trustworthy and sincere, which is incredible, because in the moment it feels like your body is sabotaging your social life, when in reality it might be boosting your reputation. Think about it. If someone makes a mistake and shows zero reaction, you might wonder if they care at all. But if they immediately blush, it's like their body is shouting, "I care too much, please forgive me." That visible emotional response signals that they recognize a social norm and feel accountable for breaking it. Evolutionarily, that's gold. In social groups, you want to know who's going to follow the rules and who's going to pretend nothing happened after knocking over the metaphorical vase. Blushing acts like a built-in honesty detector, not because it detects lies, but because it's very hard to fake or suppress. You can lie with your words, but your capillaries are terrible actors. Studies have even shown that people who blush after a social misstep are more likely to be forgiven. So while it feels like your face is exposing you, it's also doing PR work on your behalf. It's saying, yes, that was awkward, but this person is emotionally invested and socially aware, which, in human terms, is actually kind of charming, like watching someone trip and immediately laugh at themselves instead of pretending they meant to do that. If you feel like you blush at the slightest thing while other people stay mysteriously composed, you're not imagining it. There's real biology behind that difference. Blushing intensity varies from person to person based on factors like genetics, skin thickness, and how reactive your autonomic nervous system is. Some people basically have a hair trigger response, where even a tiny hint of social attention sends their blood vessels into full expansion mode. It's like their face is set to high sensitivity, picking up emotional signals the way a microphone picks up a whisper and turns it into stadium-level feedback. Skin tone and thickness also play a role. Thinner, lighter skin tends to show redness more clearly, while darker or thicker skin may still experience the same blood flow changes but with less visible flushing. And then there's personality and psychology. People who are more socially anxious or more attuned to others' perceptions tend to blush more because their brains are more likely to interpret situations as socially significant. It's not that they're weaker or less confident, it's that their internal alarm system is more finely tuned. The downside is obvious: more unexpected face glow moments. But the upside is that this sensitivity is often linked to empathy and awareness. So if your cheeks light up like a warning signal during awkward moments, it's not just a glitch. It's a combination of biology and social intelligence working together, just with absolutely no regard for your desire to keep a low profile.